Witches, welcome back to the series Wild Moon Witch Ways. I hope that you are all doing amazing on this Sunday evening. So I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to jump on here. Normally it takes a little minute before, well, no, I see somebody already. I was going to say it normally takes a few minutes for the comments to start rolling in or until I can see if somebody has joined. But what's up, Doglands? I see you. If you got some tea, go ahead and get it and let's sip it. So how's everyone doing? I'm going to go over a few things while I give everyone a time to join because I didn't have this planned in advance. Oh, I need to light my incense. Anyway, I didn't have this planned in advance. So I think I posted like 30 minutes before I got started. So hold on, I'm trying to get my incense going. I lit some earlier when I was like smudging the room and stuff, but it already went out by the time I got situated to do this live stream. Doglands, you know, I do not know what all them little things mean. I'm not very good with those little things. You should know this. But it's all good. It's all good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over a few things. So the first thing that I want to mention, if you see me keep looking down, I'm looking at the screen so I can read your comments. My camera is angled a little bit above my monitor, so I do have to keep, looking down. So I want to tell you that real quick. The next thing that I want to mention is typically whenever you see me do these live streams, Nightshade Moon is on here with me. So if you've been with me for a while, or at least since we started this series, Nightshade Moon is always here doing them with me. I've not done one by myself. This is the first time. However, she will no longer be doing these when I do them each week or every 2 weeks. That's what I want to start doing, is like recording every 2 to 3 weeks, do the live stream, and then in between those periods, I want to, do the pre-recorded videos. What's up, Sherry Bug? Hey, Dollface. I'm so glad that you jumped on. I was just saying, and I'll tell you again because I don't know if you heard me or not, but I was saying that from here on out, it's just going to be me, you guys. Nightshade Moon is not going to be with me. Now, there will be times where she will come in, and join us, but I don't know how often that she's going to be able to do this. I guess it's just going to depend on her schedule. So shout out, Nightshade Moon. We're going to miss you, girl. Anyway, she'll let us know how her schedule goes, when she can jump in with us or not. So this brings me to my next thing I want to mention to you guys. Let me grab a sip of my tea. So, all right. So I've been thinking for a while now, like I want to find some way to bring us even closer together as this witchy family that we are, because I really care about you guys and I consider y'all my family. So I've been thinking, like, what ways can we get to know each other better, and like build friendships. I mean, friendships between you and other people in, the comment section, me and you guys, and so forth and so on. So I thought, how about you guys joining me on the live streams? I thought we could do it like, I don't know, once or twice a month, and we could schedule when would be good for you, and we could do one-on-one, or if you want you and a few more people. I think StreamYard will allow me to do 6 people at the time. I think that's right. So we could do a group of people, we could do one-on-one, and we could just do some fun little interviews, like where I ask you fun little questions. That way we can get to know you better. We can know about your practice more. And if that's something private, like you don't want to share your practice, that's completely fine too. We can just, get to know each other better and ask like silly little questions, but questions that will help, to know you, your personality, all this great jazz. So if you're interested in doing this, and now you don't have to have a YouTube channel already, that's perfectly fine. If you have a channel or if you don't have a channel, either way, if it's something that you're interested in and you would like to do this with me, then I will have my information, like my email address and my social media platforms where I'm at. You can contact me and let me know if you're interested in it and, what day would be good. And then Sherry Brooks says, oh my, LOL, scary. No, girl, it's not scary. It's fun. And especially if you're doing it with somebody. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I still get nervous doing the live streams. And I was really nervous coming into this one, doing it by myself. But it's so fun. I mean, it is nervous because you're, online for the world to see. But it's a lot of fun, especially with you guys, because y'all are such an amazing group of women and men. And, I appreciate you guys and I want to know you better. I want us all to get on here. But, if it's something, hush growling, if it's something that, you're just 100% not comfortable doing, then by all means, you don't feel like you just have to. I just thought it would be something fun to do. But anyway, I'll leave all my information and then you can decide, if this is something that you want to do or not. So I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. I want to congratulate Whispers of Three one more time for winning the Samhain box giveaway that I did. I also want to thank you guys for entering the giveaway. I had a lot of fun doing it this time. There were a lot of people entered in it, more so than any other giveaway that I've done. And I really enjoyed it. Now, of course, I think it was 2 people that subscribed to my channel, entered the giveaway. After the giveaway, they unsubscribed, but whatever, it is what it is. And then there were a few people that they're subscribed to my channel, but the only time they ever comment on a video is when it's a giveaway. It's like I don't hear from them any other time, or they don't watch any other videos or comment except for on the giveaways. But, I guess that's to be expected whenever you do these giveaways. Next time I will make a note that you have to already be subscribed to the channel, because I think it's unfair to you guys for people to subscribe to the channel, enter, and then unsubscribe. And then there's, that's one more put in the pot. That's against you whenever you guys have been with me from the get-go. You support me, or you've been on this journey with me, even if it was you just subscribed last week or the week before. You are a part of this journey with me. So again, thank you guys so much for entering. All right. So speaking of the Samhain giveaway, I want to talk about Samhain. I thought this would be the perfect time to go over some Samhain correspondences. You can talk about, like in the comment section, you can talk about what you do for Samhain, or if you have the same correspondences as I do, and so forth and so on. I just thought it would be cool to hear like what I do, what I use for Samhain, what I've used, throughout the years. And if you use something different or the same, maybe I use something that you haven't thought of that really resonates with you, and vice versa. I want to hear you guys' opinion too, because I like ideas. Do them unannounced at live chats. Sherry bug. Sherry bug. And let me show y'all these real quick too. These are new. Look at my, hold on. Look at my leggings. Aren't they cute? They're spider webs. Okay. So Sherry Bug, aren't you new to witchcraft? Oh, that's so rude. I agree. I agree. It is rude. It is. But you know, we live and we learn. There's always going to be somebody, you know, that's doing something like, I don't know if this person was really accusing me of this, but I felt like it. Somebody commented, like, how do we know that I even entered the people's name, you know, on the little sheets to enter you into the giveaway? I'm like, hello, this does not cost you anything. This cost me money. You know, I wanted to do this giveaway. Like, it cost me money. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to do anything at all to be entered into this giveaway, you know, so why would I withhold your name? Don't make sense, but whatever. Thank you, Sharebug. So yeah, you're new. Okay, so have you ever, is this your first Samhain, or have you celebrated it before? And do you know like in anything about Samhain, or is this a whole new thing? Have you done research, or you know, is this new? And I know that Dogland knows about Samhain. All right, cool. So I will go over some of the things that I do, you know, and I want you to talk about some of the things that you do if you're cool with that, or things that resonate with you. So, you know, Samhain, sorry, this chair, I think my blanket is folded and it's got my back jacked up. Okay. So Samhain is actually spelled like Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain, or I've heard it pronounced Sowen. But it's, the majority is Samhain or Samhain. I am doing research this year to try and do something special. Okay, that's cool. Well, maybe I can give you some ideas, you know, or maybe something resonates with you and you can, you know, build off of it. So Samhain originates from ancient Celtic tradition, and it's often celebrated from sundown on October the 31st through November 1st. Now, the ancient Celtic tradition, they often celebrated, or not often, they did celebrate when the sun reached 15 degrees of Scorpio. And there are some people that still celebrate this time, not necessarily on the 31st, but you know, whenever the sun is exactly at 15 degrees Scorpio. And the reason for this is exactly the midway point between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. Now, some people will start their celebrations, and this is what I like to do. I like to start the celebrations on the 31st and then go through to that halfway point. So this year it's going to fall on November the 7th, if you're interested, you know, in that. So some people also will celebrate on the new moon that's closest to this midway point. But, you know, it's up to you as to when you want to celebrate, you know, on the 31st, or if you want to wait until the sun reaches 15 degrees of Scorpio, because around the around Samhain, it's Scorpio season anyway. So, you know, that's completely up to you. Now, Samhain is a Sabbath that honors the dead. This is the time to communicate with your ancestors and the spirit world, and even to travel. Now, the reason it's such a great time to communicate or travel with your ancestors or the spirit world is because it's so easy to cross the hedge. The veil is at its thinnest point that it will be. I mean, it's super thin. So I personally feel like during this time, like, you don't require any special skills. You don't have to hone your skills or your craft. It doesn't have to be something that you do on a daily basis or frequently, you know, in your particular craft. I feel like anybody can do it. It doesn't, you know, require anything extra. You can do it, and you can use, you know, do any type of divination to communicate, or however it is that you know, want to do so. I feel like Samhain is also about honoring the natural cycles, and it's about honoring and giving thanks for what you've received thus far. It's also a time to remember your loved ones. And for me personally, like in my house, it's not a time where we're sad or we're upset that these loved ones have passed away, but we acknowledge them, and we are so grateful that these people were in our lives, that we got to spend time with these people. We tell stories, to my son about these people. Maybe it was people that passed on before, he was born. So we share stories with him about, these people and what they meant to us. And it's a beautiful thing. It's more of a happy celebration, instead of I miss you. How can I go on without you type of thing. So Samhain is also now, and this might correlate with you, but for a lot of pagans, Samhain is also the beginning of the new year. Now, for me personally, Samhain marks the beginning of the dreaded shadow work. I know a lot of witches absolutely despise shadow work, but Samhain marks my shadow work period. From Samhain until the winter solstice, I do shadow work. So I do intense internal work. I will travel the hedge. So I do this a lot more. I do a lot more hedge riding. I travel the hedge to gain wisdom from these hedge witches of old, these wise women. That's what they are. They are so wise. And some of them are my teachers. So they help me to access those hidden parts of myself, or the things I've pushed down, the things that I've buried, the things that are so painful or hurtful, or I guess you could say, like your skeletons in your closet, type of thing. It's like that. They help to find the path to be able to access this and bring it back up, because sometimes we bury stuff so far down, we don't even remember it. We don't even realize that we have these issues. So they help me or they lead me, to the path where I can access it, so I can bring it up, so I can deal with it, grow from it, learn what I need to learn, and move on. They help me to release things that no longer serve me from this point on, moving forward, not looking back, but going forward. So it's, they help me to heal, to release all the things that no longer serve me. And this is not just internally, even though it is internal work, it's also releasing people that, are toxic to me, relationships, people that, no longer serve me at this point in my life or moving forward. And sometimes it's not even toxic people or necessarily, bad people or anything like that. It might be a great friend, but the relationship's at its end. There's nothing more that either one of you can gain from this relationship. Y'all are both going in different directions. You've learned what you've needed from this person, and they learned what they needed from you. So it's simply, life is taking you in different directions. You are both, growing spiritually and evolving, and it's different for you guys. So, it's time to split ways. So, and it could even be things in my life, possessions, things that I have that they no longer serve me. They're weighing me down. I'm going to get rid of that. So they help me to see all this. So while I've, crossed the hedge, I also work with all of my spirit guides, my spirit helpers. So this includes, my guides. This includes my animals, other spirits that I work with, my teachers, so forth and so on, plants, and on and on and on. But I work with them, and I work with them really intensely too. And they help me to, I get to swim through that like cauldron of transformation, so that I have the ability to heal in such profound ways that, it's like I can't help but to reach these higher levels of consciousness. I can't help but to vibrate at a higher frequency. you don't question your intuition. It is what is. You listen to it. Your third eye's open a little bit more. That's what I want. This is the time that I do this. This is the time to embrace the stillness. Go within, dig deep, and embrace this stillness so that I can learn, grow, and evolve. And that's what it's all about to me. So I also, like I said earlier, I work with my ancestors. I communicate with my ancestors, but I also give my ancestors offerings. I ask for blessings from my ancestors. So not only, I think I had a visit this morning from my dog. You know what, Sharebug? It probably so, because like the veil is constantly getting thin. It's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So it wouldn't surprise me, because it's not just, ancestors or our loved ones that come through. It's also, loved one as far as, people, but it's also, our animals, our pets. They become attached to us too. And, ones that we really connect with, build this bond with, I definitely believe that they come through to us. So that's a beautiful thing. Maybe you should write it down, and see. Maybe you'll notice a pattern with this animal coming through, every or around this time, every year. What? It's my hubby, but his mouth is full. He's standing at the door. So anyway, I don't remember where I was at. Let's see. Oh, I know what. So, okay. So yeah, I like to give offerings to my ancestors, ask for a blessing. But for me personally, I also like to honor and give an offering to the spirits of the lands in my local area. So this includes like trees, plants, animals, rivers, lakes, streams, fields, meadows, parks, places that my family and I go that have a lot of meaning to us, a place where we can ground, a place where we can relax, de-stress, place that are sacred to us. I like to give an offering because I'm so grateful, for these places. What's up, Dawn Night Bloom? Thank you for joining, girlfriend. So yeah, I like to do that, as well. But I don't think it really matters, how you celebrate Samhain. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way or a particular thing that you should do. I feel like, and I say this all the time, and I know you'll probably get so tired of hearing me say it, but let your intuition guide you. As long as you go with your intuition, you're not going to be guided wrong. And there are so many things that you can do for Samhain. One other thing that I like to do that I find is very important in my path is to acknowledge the people that are forgotten, because there are so many people in this world that are forgotten, and it could be that, somebody got murdered, I hate to be like, all dark and stuff, but it could be someone got murdered. She was never found, or he was never found. And, over the years, they're forgotten. And, maybe they are still stuck, here because no one has never found them. And, I want them to know that there's at least one person that acknowledges, them in this world. So Sharebook says, she was in my dream and I was calling her in my dream. I woke up and then my phone started playing music, not an alarm or anything, and I had not touched it. Yep, Sherrybug. Ooh, I bet you. Dawn says, hi, hun. Nice to see. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I had to get some tea. It's so good. So, oh, look at my leggings. How cute, Dawn. Aren't they cute? So anyway, all right, let's move on. Or do you have anything you want to add, Sherrybug, or any questions about that? Or Dawn, I was just going over, Dawn, the things that I like to do on Samhain. Like the things that that relate to me, that correspond with me, like working with my ancestors, you know, honoring the spirits of my land, you know, my local area, my loved ones, you know, acknowledging them, that type of thing. Now, I do want to mention too that sometimes, you know, we have ancestors that are assholes. Sometimes we have loved ones that are assholes. If there is someone that you do not want to leave an offering for, just because they're in your family, does not mean you have to leave them an offering. If, you know, they're an asshole, or you don't agree with some of the things that they did, you don't like them, you can starve them, or you can just not acknowledge them, period. Like, there's no requirement that says you have to give all of your ancestors or all of your loved ones, you know, an offering. No, you don't. You do you, boo. So anyway, thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. So I want to go over some correspondences for Salwa. Now, again, this is, you know, just what I use, what I go on. And also it changes too from year to year. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, what I'm feeling that day. But there are some things that even if, you know, the ingredients or whatever changes up, there are some things that are always the same. Like, for instance, colors. Now, my colors might change depending on what mood I'm in. So this could be like my sacred space, or my altar, or wherever, you know, if I'm outside, like I'm decorating, this is colors that are associated with that. And some that, even if they change up, like I always have like orange, black, red, brown, yellow. See, orange, black, red, brown, yellow. And I normally stick with like a mustard yellow, or like a golden yellow, not like this bright, sunny, you know, yellow or pastel yellow. And then I also like deep, like real deep purple. Dawn says she does a lot of ancestor work during this time of year. Yes, girl. Yeah, I love doing ancestor work this time of year too. It's amazing. So for candles, I go with whatever I'm feeling. And a lot of times it's depending on whatever I'm doing, you know. So whatever it is that I feel like I need to do for that particular time, I will use those corresponding candles. But I always have black candles going for this time of year. And I normally have deep purple candles, orange. And then I really like to use those. Have y'all used, which I'm sure y'all have, those, it's like the dripping candles. They're two different colors. Like, I like the white and red. So it's white on the outside and red on the inside. And then I also get the black, and it's black on the outside and red on the inside. I love to use those. And then for my ancestors, I have these candles. They're like a pinkish red looking color. So for me, this is like ancestral love. It's not like a blood red or a deep red, or you know, like a real pink color. I don't know. It's a weird color, but it's like pinkish red. And to me, it signifies like ancestor love. So let's see. Sherrybug said, I always wonder about the ancestors, since the ones that I know were Christians. I don't know if they would like it. So maybe more ancestor or spirits in the land, or my ancestors from 1,000 years ago. Yeah. And, you know, it could also be the ancestors of other witches, wise women. You know, it could be the healers, you know, because all witches are healers, you know. I mean, just all witches are healers. And so it could be any of those. And like you said, your ancestors, because I feel like, and this, you know, tell me what you think. This might just be me, but I feel like if, say, you become a witch, and say, like, there's nobody in your immediate family that is a witch, but it's something that you've been called on, you felt it in your bones since you were a child. like, you know, this is your calling. You know that this is what you're supposed to do. When you finally, you know, make that dedication and that commitment, and you say, like, you know, like the first time out loud, like, oh my gosh, I'm a witch. You know, I was born to be a witch. Then I don't even know how to really describe it, other than that I feel like you have ancestors, you know, and maybe it was way, way back, but you have ancestors that were witches. And I feel like you are a witch in a past life. Like, this is not, you've just decided, oh, you know, I'm going to do what everybody else is doing, because you know how we go through these trends in life. You know, there's always some kind of trend going on. And I don't know, I guess for the past year and a half, it's this trend has been witchcraft, you know. And so, but it's more than that. You don't have time for that. Like, it's not about a trend for you. You find the path, you find your craft, and you're like, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I've been missing for my life, you know. So I feel like in that instance, our ancestors, you know, there were some ancestors on our line that were witches, and you know, we are all connected. We are all connected. Let's see. Dawn says we are all related in the end. So yes, I agree with that too. Then sometimes I think maybe when our ancestors pass, they know my heart and understand. You know, Sherry Bug, like, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Felt like my grandparents, very, very, very religious. I'm talking about Southern Baptist, you know, very religious people. But one of my grandfathers is one of my spirit guides. I work with my ancestors. I call on them. I do ancestral work with them, and they were very religious, but they are so loved. Like, they believe in what I do, if that makes sense. You know, ask them, ask your ancestors, talk to them and see. But if you don't feel comfortable with your ancestors, then, you know, yeah, you have ancestors, you know, that go way back there, and your witch ancestors, you know, you can work with any of those. Love the way you said that. That makes sense. Who knows? I could have a witch and not know. That's right. That's right. I feel like we're called to this path for a reason. You know, we are called here for a reason. My tea's getting a little cold. All right, so let's see here. So we did color. Now, do y'all use any different colors, like candles, or just, you know, like when you're decorating your space, do y'all have any different colors than what I mentioned? I got some nappy hair. Ew. Mm-hmm. They love you more than a religion. That might have been an illusion. Yes, Dawn, that is an excellent point. That is, because I've always felt like, you know, even though we believe in different things, especially like my grandparents, you know, even though we believe in different things, they still love me unconditionally, you know, no matter what. No matter what I'm doing, they love me, you know, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. All right, so yes, Dawn, that makes sense. Black and red is what I have. Yes, Sherry Buck, I like to use those. I use black candles, white and red. Yes, Dawn, same, girl, same here. I do, like, when I do my divination work or my spirit communication, that's when I use like my deep purple, candles, or if I feel like I'm needing a lot of grounding work, or if I'm just, I don't know, I get really excited about, these celebrations, these Sabbaths. So I will, I'll be all over the place. So I really like to use the brown for grounding, and then of course black. Like I love black candles anyway. I'm always using black candles. I make black tea light candles, and then I'll put different crystal chips, depending on whatever kind of energy I'm wanting, and that works really great. I'll sprinkle herbs on top too, which I'm sure y'all do the same thing. You need some dark purple candles. Let me grab it. I just made let me see where it's at. I just made my new head drying candle. I don't know if I'm able to get this in. So it's got witches on brooms, and it's got moons on it, which you can't. Oh, there you go. And so it's different color purples with the violet on the very top, and like the further down it goes, it gets darker. Ooh, I got flowers falling out of the top. But anyway, let me see if you can see it. I've got crystals now. This, I know it right here. This looks like just a twig, but it's African dream root. And then there's all kind of crystals and herbs in the top. And this is going to be so amazing. I infuse the wax for days and days and days with herbs, like my head drying herbs that I use. That smells so good. Anyway, I hadn't lit it yet because I wanted to wait for tonight. Because, tonight is, hold on. Tonight is a new moon. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all know that tonight's a new moon? I got my little notes here in case I forget my correspondence. Thank y'all so much. Yes, I agree. I use purple for divination, Dawn. Purple, for me, purple is all types of divination and dream work and astral travel or astral projection and head drying. Like, to me, purple is associated with magic. Like, purple is magic to me. So, like, for me, blue is healing. So I will, like, on my altar a lot of times for Samhain, or when I start from Samhain on, when I start the process, I might have something, even if it's just a crystal like this size, that's blue. I'll have it on my altar because for me, blue represents healing. Did I say full moon earlier, Sherry Bug? I meant new moon. I don't know if I said full moon. I might have. Dawn, you're doing a spell later on tonight. That's awesome. I've got one spell I've got to do later too, and I've got, I think, 5 oils that I need to make tonight, and then I've got one I've got to make tomorrow. But yeah, I love making, like magic oils to use in all kinds of things. Well, y'all know, if y'all watch my channel all the time, I'm always sharing some kind of oil. But tonight I'm going to do my transformation oil because this is going to be such an amazing time to do transformation oil because the moon is in Scorpio. So yeah, I've got to get all that. Like, I've got it all figured out to the hour that I need to start, to when I need to finish, like everything, because I want this transformation oil to be off the chart. And I mean, I know that it's going to be because of the herbs, and I'm using herbs and crystals and essential oils and barks and roots and resins and all kinds of good stuff. I'm using some cicadas and snake skin and cocoon in with it, and it's a very powerful recipe. Anyway, it's really strong, but I'm about to amp it up. So Dawn said, I made a road opener tonight. Heck yeah, girl. That's awesome. I said new moon. Okay. Girl, my mind, I feel like my mind moves faster than my mouth, just like it moves faster than my fingers too. Like my mind is always like one step ahead of me. And so sometimes it's like I can't catch up with it fast enough. And there's different thoughts. Too. I've always got so many things going on in my mind. So anyway, so Dawn, your birth sign, you're Scorpio. That's awesome. I could use some. I'm just starting oil creation. Oh, Sherry Bug, it is so amazing. I love, because the thing is, when you create oils, you can make it however you want it. You can make it whatever strength you want. You can add whatever it is that you want to add. You do not have to go on a book. And to me, now I don't see any problem with using a book. That's not what I'm saying at all. So I don't want you to feel like I'm saying, don't use a book, like you can't use a book. But for me personally, I feel like my oils or, my powders, anything that I make, if I use the herbs myself, like don't get a book, don't look anything up, just go stand over my little herb shelf or in my closet, put my hands out, push my energy out of my hands and feel these herbs and see what it is that I need to use for this particular outcome so that I may achieve this particular outcome. And then you make that oil. Oh, it is so strong. And I love it. The same thing with spells. Like I don't use spells from books or from a website. I create my own, but that's one of the things that I really enjoy about creating spells is coming up with the actual spells, because I've always loved to write. I've always, even as a kid, I wrote stories and poetry, and it was always about these mythical or magical beings like witches, werewolves, vampires, fairies, elves, gnomes, trolls, all of this and poems. And it was easier for me always growing up to write my feelings down rather than express my feelings, because I had a tendency, if I expressed my feelings, they normally were with my fist. Like I had a horrible temper and a horrible temper. And so it was a lot easier for me to write my feelings down. So I love, writing spells. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with, using them. But for me personally, I feel like they're way more powerful for me if I create them myself. And that's one thing I want to go over. The next chat is how to create successful, spells. Let's see. I've seen that somebody, Joyce. Hey, Joyce. Blessed be to you too. Thank you for jumping on this live stream. We so appreciate you joining us. So let's see. We talked about the colors and candles. Okay, decoration. So what do y'all like to use to decorate your space, whether you do it outside or inside, or you're just decorating your altar? Like, what all do you like to use? So if y'all have been with me, well, I know you guys, y'all been with me for a while. So y'all know I like bones and skulls and, of course, lots of candles and a cauldron. And I like bats and black cats and coffins and pumpkins and gourds. And I like roots. Like roots that you just dig up out of the ground. They make excellent charms too. Let's see, what else do I like? I wrote some things down. Let me look at my list. I said pumpkins. Oh, pomegranates, gourds, let's see, straw, corn, acorns, anything that is associated with like autumn, this time of year. So like acorns, like I said, corn, other nuts that maybe like if you go harvest out in nature and you find nuts and stuff, that are on the ground. So for me, that would be like pecans. Let's see. I like to use twigs, autumn leaves, autumn plants, flowers. Let's see. I'm not good yet, so I look up herbal correspondences. Also, I've written down a ton of Lady Grave Dancer's recipes online. Yeah, sure, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, nothing at all. Because the thing is, we all have to start somewhere. We all have to learn. And, but like when you're watching Lady Grave Dancer's recipe, and by the way, I absolutely adore Lady Grave Dancer too. She was one of the first witches I started watching, like her. Desert Siren, she's another amazing witch. That Nightshade Moon, I watched. Ravenflower. Those are all some of the witches that I watched. But yeah, but when I know she mentions this a lot in her videos too. So whenever you look at her recipes or you're using, her recipes, if you just say she uses, I don't know, lemon. But say you're not feeling lemon, like maybe she says, okay, she's using lemon for happiness. And you're like, what? Like, I hate lemons. Lemons are sour. Lemons suck. I cannot stand lemons. But then you use that lemon in your recipe, and it's like she uses them for happiness. And you think lemons are sour. You don't like them. They don't bring you pleasure, so you get what I'm saying. So you wouldn't use it. That's all I'm saying is like use your intuition, whenever you use these items, always use your intuition. And that's how you get to learn these ingredients too. Like say if you're holding mint, say you want to use peppermint in something, just say you've harvested a lot of peppermint and you want to use it before, the scent's completely gone with it, or you feel like maybe its energy is depleting. I don't know what you're thinking. But anyway, so hold it in your hands, hold it in your hands, push your energy into your hands, open your chakras on the palm of your hands and feel the energy of that plant and see how it vibrates and connect with that plant's spirit and see what it's telling you, it's going to guide you, to use it. How is it going to help you? And, it might help you one way this time, but then you use it again and it might tell you, that it's going to help you with this situation as well. So that's what I'm saying, girl. Trend for maybe the past 40 years. Hold on, I might have missed something. A combination of nature candles and Halloween decorations right now. Very cool. Sherry bug right now. Into leaves, acorns, pine cones, cedar tree twigs, etc. Acorns, walnuts, cedar, and pine. Also, so true. Let's see. Trend for maybe I don't know what you're talking about, Joyce. I don't know. Girl, tell me. Go ahead and fill me in what you're talking about. So yeah, I also like using pine cones and cedar twigs. I like cypress balls as well. I like to make the Pinecone Firestarters for this time of year too, and they're absolutely amazing for Samhain because we always do a big bonfire outside unless it's raining. Since we moved, I don't know, the past 2 or 3 years, it seems like it's rained. Let's see, my maternal grandmother doused for water, got animals to come to her in the wild garden. Crazy, was a midwife. Yeah, Joyce, that's amazing. I can remember, like, my grandparents were so very, very religious, but I can remember my grandfather looking up to the sky to look at the constellations, to see the moon phases, to decide harvest time, when he was going to plant his vegetables, when he, was going to harvest. They also lived off the land. They ate plants. Nothing went to waste. And I think that's amazing. Like my grandma, they would cut their hair certain times. They could tell you if a baby was going to be a boy or a girl. It's amazing. But there is this, or I will say that I've noticed that, and I don't know if you're talking about this, when I was talking about there's a trend in witchcraft, is what I was talking about is, like, I guess I've noticed it within the past, I don't know, year to year and a half, 2 years, something like that, where people are, and I won't really say it's younger people. I guess they're like in their 30, no, not 30s. It's more like in the 20 age range or so. I guess even some 30s too. But it's like, people are jumping in on this bandwagon of witchcraft. They're posting, to Instagram, to Facebook, and all this. But then that's it. It's like it's a phase that they're going through, I guess is what they're saying. All right, let me see what this says. Joyce says, thanks, Dawn. It's where my gifts came from. I've been mixing up leaves, water, flowers, sometimes dirt and or pebbles since I was old enough to consider making mud pies. Oh my gosh, Joyce, I love that you brought that up. I do. That's amazing. I can remember too. So let me tell you what kind of kid I was. I wanted to make potions, as a kid. Like I was all about making potions and mud pies, like you said. And I guess I would get tired of using my mom's, like the same flowers, over and over. And we all, like my family lived on the same road or the same street. So it was like we each had our own individual dirt roads, but the same main road. And so I could go to all of these people's houses, all my family. And so I would run through all of my aunts and my grandparents' yards, and I would steal their flowers, to be able to make this stuff. And then I would always find like these rocks and like sticks, and I would like grind my plants up and make all this stuff. And I would, if somebody had a cut or, a bruise, I'd want to put it on them and that type of stuff. It was a lot of fun though. But yeah, I've always been interested in the craft. Let's see. Dawn said, I studied with my aunt, being the only one gifted in my generation. That's awesome, Dawn. I haven't, as far as family, I haven't studied with anybody. Now, all of my family, they garden and like they grow food. They live off the land, but other than that, like, well, my mom, I grew up with her making, our clothes, making just about everything, like whatnots and stuff, decorations for the house and stuff my mom made. But that's really about it. Like I said, everybody was very religious. Now, I do know that, like my grandmother's told me before, that when she really don't like herbal medicine that much now, because she said growing up, that's all they had. They couldn't afford to go to the doctor, or they couldn't afford to go to town. So, all their medicine came from the land. And so in their eyes, in that part of the South where I come from, it's, if you live like the way that I live currently, they look down on you and consider you, like poor. So, I remember stories though of my grandmother telling me, how my great grandparents lived. And I've always connected with that side. I've always been amazed and always wanted to learn more about that side of, of my family, more about them. Now, my great grandparents were alive when I was young, so I did know them, but I've always wanted to know more and more and more. Let's see. Okay. So I think we went over, let's see, was that everything on decorations? Oh, feathers. I like to use feathers too, which y'all know I've got feathers everywhere. And then I always try to use like pictures of my ancestors or items that I associate with them, objects, stuff like that, that remind me of them. Like I've got, cotton for some of my ancestors that I don't have anything of theirs, but my family, we had cotton. We had to pick cotton. So that relates to my family. I've got rocks, same thing, just all kind of different things that I associate with my family, things that I knew about my ancestors that, go back for several generations. So, let's see. Oh, is there a particular incense that you guys like to use or on Samhain, or does it really matter to you? A few of the ones that I like to use is, okay. So this is, hold on guys, sorry. My comment section froze. Okay, so some of the incense that I like to use, of course, rosemary. I like to use, let's see, cinnamon, sage, of course, patchouli is a big one for me. And then now that's, well, I like to use all kinds of stuff, but those are always some of the incenses that I use, like frankincense, sandalwood, dragon's blood, benzoin are all some of the incense that I use. Now, I want to just list a couple of plants, herbs that I use during this time of year, but it's going to be like bark, roots, resins, herb, flowers, all of it kind of combined into one, spices. Also, let's see, this time of year I would like to use chrysanthemum, calendula, passion flower, rosemary, sage, dittany of Crete, mugwort, mullein, wormwood, rue, nettle, nightshade, pine. I love using pine needles, bay leaves. What else? Let's see. Let me look. Oh, cloves. I like using cloves. Thistle, cinnamon, allspice. See, mandrake root. I think I've already mentioned dragon's blood, frankincense, myrrh, copal. Let's see. Sweetgrass. I said sage. I think that's everything. Are the ones. Now, there are a few things that I use that I haven't really seen, people talk about these. It's not like they're, some secret plant or something, but I guess they don't correlate with this time of year as much as some of these other, plants, but I also like to use African dream root, jasmine, parsley, let's see, African dream root, jasmine, parsley, cat's claw, burdock, and there's another one that I'm leaving out. Let's see. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Sun opener. Oh my gosh. I could not get it out. Sun opener. That's another one. I like to use those plants a lot during this time as well. All right. So let's see. Sherbrooke said, I totally want to raid your witchy pantry for all those lovely herbs and plants to grow down south and aren't here in Ohio. I have got so many plants. I really do. Oh, another one is blue lotus. I really like using blue lotus right now. Motherwort, and I told you they're gonna come to me. Let's see. Blue lotus, motherwort, and wild. I see the plant in my mind's eye, plain as day. Wild lettuce. That's what it is. Dawn says her list is almost the same. That's awesome, girlfriend. That's awesome. Yeah, for the things that I like to do, you know, this time of year and the things that I associate with in my craft, yeah, those are the plants that I most frequently, you know, work with. Oh my gosh, Joyce, wouldn't that be amazing if we could get together? So do y'all, I know that Sherbug lives in Ohio. Do y'all, do you and Joyce, do y'all live in the South, or do y'all live, I don't, you know, if you don't want to say your area, like, that is completely fine. Y'all know I'm in Texas. But I completely understand if you don't want to share your area. But I wish that we could plan like a meetup. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could get together and hang out and swap plants and just visit with one another? I wish that we could. That would be super cool. Maybe we need to see about doing that. I'm down if y'all are down. So I like to use essential oils. Let's see. Joyce is in Central Oklahoma. Okay, well, Oklahoma's not far from me. And then Dawn said, I'm from the South, but I live in Missouri. We might need to see then, guys, about, you know, trying to get together or something. That would be awesome. So I also use like essential oils in my practice. So some of the essential oils that I use, some of the essential oils I use are the same as the herbs. You know, if I'm just like wanting to accentuate that scent, you know, then I will add some essential oils. But I also like to use marjoram essential oil, angelica, allspice, patchouli, rosemary, pine. Like, of course, I said those. I like using the resins too, like benzoid, frankincense. I like to use catnip essential oil during this time. I like, of course, cinnamon and clove, like allspice and ginger. You can't go wrong with those. And I also like using jasmine and, oh my gosh, girl, get it together. Clary sage. That's another one that I really like. I like to use clary sage for like divination. Lavender, those are all good. So do y'all use essential oils? Angelica is awesome. I love angelica. Like the angelica that I work with, she feels like a fighter, you know, like like put her in the, yeah, I don't know. I always, and tell me, y'all might tell me this is crazy, but so when I work with plants, or even when I work with the planets, I always assign like these roles for the plants and, you know, planets, crystals. I always see them like, so, okay, Mars is the warrior, you know, so I see him, you know, standing with like this spear in one hand, the sword in the other, like he's, do not mess with me, you know, like he's going to beat your ass. And, you know, I see plants like that too, like some plants like patchouli. So patchouli's like, what's up, man? What's going on? You know, he's like super chill and like laid back and talks real slow. And, you know, it's like that kind of energy. And then you've got some like Angelica. She's like so sweet and simple, but you piss her off and she's like, rah, you know, she's coming at you like she's going to whip your ass. She's going to tear you up. But I do all of my crystals and plants and stuff like that. Let's see. Cracks me up, girl. Quick tip: you can use pumpkin spice as a substitute. Yep, you sure can. I like to make my own pumpkin spice, or my I like to make this powder I call my power powder, and it has a lot of the same ingredients that you would use for pumpkin spice. And Joyce says, I use oils and herbs to make my own oils. Very cool, Joyce. Very cool. Yeah, we were talking about oils earlier, like how we love making oils. I was talking about earlier, I have about 5 different oils I need to make tonight. Definitely, there's 2 that definitely have to be made tonight. No questions asked. I have to. And there's 1 that definitely has to be made tomorrow. But yes, we love making oils, Joyce. We all have a lot of the same interest, guys. We have a lot of the same interests. We like a lot of the same things too. So let's talk about some stones that we use for this time of year. So I like to work with agate. I like to work with black tourmaline, black obsidian, hematite, smoky quartz, clear quartz, tiger's eye, pyrite, carnelian, jasper. What else do I like working with? Oh, petrified wood and amber. I know they're not technically, stones, but I love working with petrified wood and amber too. And selenite, even labradorite, amethyst. Those are all my jam. Actually, I have most of these laid out right here beside me too. So what stones do you guys work with? Do y'all work with the same ones or different ones? Oh, I also work with not dragon's blood. Girl, bloodstone. I work with bloodstone this time of year too. So what about y'all? If y'all even use crystals, I think most of y'all do though. I don't even. Yeah, so y'all pretty much use the same type of crystals that I use too. Isn't it cool how we're all drawn to this? I'm almost out of tea. All right, let's see. Is there any other stones? I think that about some. Now, of course, there's like the stones that I always use, like my chrysocolla, malachite. Like I always work with those. That's just how it is. My shaman stones. You don't work with bloodstone? I don't work with bloodstone a lot. It seems like I feel the energies of bloodstone during this transformational time, like decluttering, like removing stagnation, that type of thing. I work with bloodstone, and it always comes around this time of year whenever I'm doing my shadow work. Oh, lapis lazuli. That's a good one, Joyce. Black tourmaline, onyx, and more. Yeah, let's see. I don't think I've worked with onyx that much. I don't think I've got this. I think it's called green onyx that I work with and I love, but I don't think that I don't think I've worked with much onyx except this one. Ooh. It's this green sphere. Sharebug says that she loves crystals and I'm trying to expand my use of them. I love crystals too. I like to make crystal elixirs. And I like, I use crystals for all sorts of things. Malachite, blue lace agate. Yes, Joyce. Amethyst, labradorite. Yeah, we all like the same type of crystals, herbs, essential oils, everything. Black onyx is great for repelling negativity. So I normally use black tourmaline or black obsidian. Those are my two that I normally work with, but I do want to work with black onyx. I do want to work more with black onyx. Now I did get my son, no, never mind. That's obsidian. That's obsidian too. I don't do shadow work. Onyx is very good. Also, I love shadow work. I feel like for me personally, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today without shadow work. I feel like for me, myself personally, I feel like that I would not be where I am as far as, on a physical level, spiritual, mental, emotional, all of that. I just don't feel like I would. I feel like I would not have grown so much at all, but that's just me. I wear black tourmaline. It's a trend. I love black tourmaline too. I think I've got my black tourmaline necklace on too. Onyx is very good. Yeah, I do. Why don't I have black onyx? I got all kinds of other stuff, so why don't I? I don't know. Y'all watch next video. Y'all see I'll have some black onyx, black haul video, crystal video. I do need. I want some black onyx now. I sent my son to college with an energized, protective black onyx. That's cool. It is. Yeah, y'all have got me wanting to work with black onyx. Now, like black tourmaline, black obsidian, those are two that I work with on a daily basis. Like I wear this tourmaline, and then I have an anklet that is black obsidian that I wear every day too. I was looking to see if there was any on my bracelets, but I don't think there is. I work with turquoise a lot too. Like I always have turquoise jewelry. So what y'all want to talk about? Some activities, spells, rituals, anything like that y'all like to do during this time? Are there anything in particular that you like to do? Like go to visit graveyards. I don't know if that's your jam. Some people don't like. I am one of the weird ones that really likes going to graveyards. I've always, even as a little child, I love to go to graveyards. Back then, I like to look at the dates, like when they were born and when they passed from this lifetime. And I would like to try to figure out, like what they did, like what happened to them, what caused them to pass on. But you can do that. You can, if you have a cemetery or in your area, or maybe where your family, your relatives, ancestors are buried, you may want to go and give them an offering. Unfortunately, I don't. I live in a completely different place than I was born and raised. Now, all of my family, we are all buried in the same cemetery back home, but I am a ways from that. But I do like to go to our local cemetery that's right up the road, and I will walk around and see if there's anything that needs to be picked up, garbage or flowers or dumped over arrangements that are messed up. We try to fix those, and then I just talk to the spirits and hang out with them, see if anybody needs anything, any help or whatever. And I like to give a child something that's passed away. I like to leave it. Sometimes it's just a penny, sometimes it's a crystal, sometimes it's a flower. It just, whatever I'm feeling at the moment, is, or whatever I have on hand is what I will give. Let's see. Sharebug loves going to graveyards. Joyce. Read the thoughts. Yeah, Joyce, I do too. And even the symbols and stuff that are on there, or the designs, like on the headstones. I love to look at all that. I can remember as a kid taking paper, and a crayon and going over the really, really old headstones on paper so that I could then, read it. Yeah, I was that kid. But it's, it's amazing. Actually, I hope that our cemetery is open. The last, I don't know, 4 or 5 times that I've been, it's closed. Like they're doing some work there, which is a really, really nice one. It's pretty big, and they're doing a lot of work. So I hope it's going to be open. I don't know. I'd hate to have to jump the fence, and go in. So it says, Sharebook says, do you cover your head when you go into a graveyard? I don't necessarily cover my head when I go into one. Now, I always take an offering, and as I go in, or actually before I go in, I give an offering. On the way out, I give an offering as well. Now, one thing that I do, and my son and my husband do as well, is whenever we're leaving, like when we're walking to get in the car, we walk backwards and get in the car. So we don't like face the car and walk. We always walk backwards and get in the car. But I don't cover my head. Let's see. I also like to gorilla garden in cemeteries. Use like daffodil buds and things that will grow in natural. Oh yeah, that's a cool idea, Joyce. Say Sharebug. I'm thinking about doing rubbings of tombstones for sound. Yeah, Sharebug, that's a good idea. I cover mine a lot of times coming with my ancestors. Sometimes I will visit old cemetery now and again with my pendulum to collect grave dirt and give flowers and alcohols often to the spirits. Yeah, that's cool, Dawn. The cemetery that's right by us that we go to, there's one that's really, really, really old. It's older than like all the other ones that I've noticed. And it has this old, like Gothic looking fence, around it. And there's trees and all like the 4 corners of the tombstone. And it, like I said, it's separated from the other ones, and there's like trees in the 4 corners, but there's always some kind of offering there at that tomb. So sometimes I wonder, like, I want to be like, wonder what it is. They're leaving, but I leave it alone. I don't want to mess. But I do wonder, because there's always, every time you go there, there's stuff, like an offering that's left there. And then there's some of the graves that have it's like you pull out this tube and you put your items inside of it, and then you push it down and it drops down into the ground. And then you like twist, you have to twist it and like pull it up. It reminds me of at the bank, those little tunnel things in the drive-through, and like your money and stuff comes down the little tube and comes out to you. That's what it reminds me of, the little capsule thing. And you pull it up out of the ground and push it back in, and you put stuff in it. I want that, because I want people to be giving me stuff. Shoot. No, I'm playing. I've already told my son, whenever I leave this body this time, I want to be turned into a tree. Like I want my body to be given to turn into, a tree is going to grow from me. I want it to be donated. There's this place that you can do it, and it's like this research, this natural like research place, and that's what I want to do. Sorry, something was moving. I caught it out the corner of my eye. Let's see. Dawn says, I do not cover my head. I sage myself and shield before going. And yes, walk backwards. Yes, I know what you're talking. Really, that's interesting. What you really in, Sherry Bug? Yeah, and a lot of times I won't like sage myself when I go to the cemetery, but that's because if there are any like spirits that need my help, I want them to feel comfortable coming up to me, because if it's some spirit that is nasty or has ill intent towards my family or myself, then I'm going to feel that, before it gets to me, and I can steer them, away, and I can handle it if I need to. But now we do a cleansing and everything once we get back. But yeah, I've always got shields and protection in place because, I do have a child that still lives at home. So I always have shields, protection charms, mojo bags, like you name it, I got it. Oh, I want cremated and put in the forest or river or something. Yeah. Yep, that's cool too, Sharebug and Joyce. Yeah, I've always said I want to be cremated or get my body. Well, first I always said cremated, and I want to be scattered in the 4 directions. And then I said I want them to cremate me and use the ashes, mix it in with dirt to grow a tree. And then I found out like you can donate your body to this like research place, and they like grow these trees, like it grows up out of your body. Oh, I mean, hello. I was a tree in a different life anyway, or a plant. Like I'm for real. I was a tree or plant or crystal. Something was going on. I'm really in the tubes in the cemetery to put things in. Girl, I know. I was so amazed the first time I seen that. Like I had never seen such before. And my husband was like, leave it alone, leave it alone. That's not yours. Don't mess with it. But I couldn't help myself. I had to pull it up and just see what it was. Like that was the coolest thing. It was in the ground. It was so cool. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that person will get a present from me this year. Let's see. Dawn says, this way they stay away. Yes, shooting is important. Yeah. Now there's sometimes when I go, if I don't want anything like coming up to us, like there's this one particular place in the cemetery that we go to that it really, really freaks my son out. It's this area, like there's this triangle in the cemetery, and in this particular triangle there's nothing but babies buried here. Well, there's this lady, she's, I don't know, maybe in her early 20s, like I would say between 18 to like 23 or something like that. But she's holding this baby, and she's like standing over this cemetery, like watching. My son gets so freaked out every time we go. Like if we go into that area, and I remember the first time that we went, like he was so freaked out. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. But I feel like she's protecting, she is protecting those babies. I feel like something has happened, there. And I mean, this is a college town, so there's no telling what goes on. But I feel like she is very protective. And I've only felt one time. The other times that I go, like there's no issue at all. It's like she just watches, she just watches over these babies. But it scared my son the first time he seen her. It freaked him out, But like any other place of the cemetery, he's good. He has no problem. He talks different things. There's actually this dog that follows my son every time we go. There's this dog that follows him. this dog spirit that's there, and like he manifests himself to my son. He can see him, he can tell you details about him, everything. So I think that's cool. But yeah, so let's see, what else do y'all do? What else? We like to go walking in nature, and like all the places that we go a lot. We like to go out, and I like to give offerings, for Samhain. That's another thing that's fun. Hosting a dinner or a festival where you maybe cook your uh, your ancestors or your loved ones like favorite foods, or each take the time to talk about your ancestors, your loved ones, and how they impacted your life, or that kind of stuff. Let's see, I've already talked about the spell Pinecone Firestarter thing, which I think they're amazing to attract or banish. You can use those with your bonfire, or even if you can't have a fire like outside or inside, you could use a cauldron, that would work. And then if you can't have a fire period, well then write your little thing you want to attract, or the thing you want to banish, on your little piece of paper, and you can anoint it with a Samhain oil that you make, and stick it in the scales of the pine cone, and leave it on your altar, and get rid of it when you can, or keep it. It's up to you. You can make straw man. One thing that I like to do is carve pumpkins. We really enjoy carving pumpkins, and we try to do stuff that my son will like as well. So that could include like bobbing for apples, like I said, carving pumpkins, making pumpkin candles. Let's see, what else? Oh, making roasting pumpkin seeds, and then you can make a special like a magic spice to go on the pumpkin seeds for whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. That's fun. You can make caramel apples. You can make like hot chocolate, spiked hot chocolate for the adults. You can invite family and friends over and have a celebration. Sherry Bug, you carve pumpkins too? Yeah, we love to carve pumpkins and then roast the pumpkin seeds, and I make like a magic seasoning to go on them, and then whatever it is that I'm wanting to manifest, I add some of that in with this seasoning, and that's good. Let's see, I almost got thrown out of the cemetery when my dad is buried because I was sharing a beer with him. I had a few sips and poured the rest out on his grave. Oh, that's crazy that they were gonna throw you out. Did they come up to like say something to you? I think it's cool that you shared. Yeah, Dawn, you do the seeds also. Yeah, we like to do those. You can even carve turnips. You can make besoms if you don't have one. And, we were talking about we like to make oils. This is a good time, to work on oils like divination oil, spirit communication oil, transformation, growth, release, new beginning. All these different oils would be great to make. Witch's jar, witch's balls, witch's ladders. Those are all good to make. You could even make gourds for the birds that don't migrate, or you can make food like cookies where you use it's cookies for the birds and squirrels and stuff, but you use peanut butter and sunflower seeds, so you could do that. That's one way that you're given an offering to the spirits of the land, like showing them that you care about these animals, showing these animal spirits that you care about this land and what goes on within it. And Sherry bug, that might be something that you are interested in doing, you know, making a gourd for the birds, you know, so you're showing these spirits of the land that, you know, you do care and that you honor, you know, them and this time and you want to help them out. You know, you can do apple seed wishes. Those are fun to do. You can bury apples or pomegranates for the spirits. You can bury those in the ground. You can, let's see, what else? Oh, you can do an egg cleanse and throw it in your fire. You can make these fire blends where you use herbs to put that in the fire, and you would use corresponding herbs for, you know, something that you want to manifest, something in particular that you're wanting to manifest. And one thing that I like to do is go through my herbs, and the herbs that are older, you know, that maybe I've had for a long time, then I will use those to make these batches, you know, to go in the fire. And I'll just, you know, I'll make different, just a big blend, kind of like a loose incense blend, but you throw it in the fire and it becomes part of your spell. So you can throw it in to release. And, you know, as you throw it in, it releases, or you can throw it in to attract things to you, you know, either way, however you want to do it. And you can add things to it, like you can, you know, take a piece of corn, a husk, and, you know, write on it like the things that you want to release or whatever, and then put your herbs in it tied up and then throw it in your fire, you know. However it is that you want to do that, you know. And then you're using some of your older herbs to make way for all the stuff that you've harvested, you know, from summer up until, you know, it got too cold to harvest. Let's see. So Sharebug said pumpkin seeds. Why didn't I save them? Girl, I don't know. I love me some pumpkin seeds. You can use your pumpkin seeds too, or even the inside of your pumpkin. You can do a prosperity spell. You can turn the whole pumpkin into your prosperity spell and put everything in it. Or you can, you know, use some of the seeds and make a prosperity oil with the seeds. You can make candles out of the pumpkin. Like if you get small candles, you can make not small candles. If you get small pumpkins, you can make candles out of those. And another thing too is the animals absolutely love pumpkins, like the squirrels and I don't know about you, the rabbits in your area, but the rabbits around here, they love some pumpkins. But the squirrels really do. Some of the birds, you know, they be eating, nibbling and stuff. And so you could throw it out, you know, throw it out in the woods, because I mean, you're recycling, they're going to eat it. Let's see. When sound is over, our jack-o'-lanterns go to my stepson to give to his ducks. Oh yeah, that's cool, Joyce. I love to feed the ducks that I walk to our park. It's, I don't know, maybe a minute from my house, and I love to feed the ducks. I think ducks are so cool. Cool. I like the corn husk idea. Yeah, you know, some corn husk, you can wet them, like if they're already dried out, you can wet the corn husk and then shape them. And you don't want to soak them. What I normally do is take like a damp paper towel, and I keep rubbing it, you know, or we'll place the corn husk in between two sheets so it will soften it, but it won't make it like wet. And then you can make little mojo bags out of the corn husk. And those are great to burn. You know, you can just throw them in the fire, or if you know, want to keep it, like, that's good too. That's what it does. Let's see. I have one more pumpkin to carve. We'll save the seed. Yeah, you can roast them. They are so good. Like, do you like sunflower seeds? To me, pumpkin seeds taste like sunflower seeds, just a bigger sunflower seed. I love pumpkin seeds though. And like I said, you can make a spice blend. I can't remember if I did a video on the channel or if it's in the newsletter. But Sherbrooke, let me know if you're interested in it, because I know that I have given that recipe for Samhain. I think I did last year, but I can't remember if it was the newsletter or a video. Let's see. That's toss them in the field. Yeah, that's cool. So let's see what else. I work with the Fae too a lot on Samhain. I think that's about it. We do, I do a ritual. Now, my Samhain normally extends over several days. So sometimes I will do this one giant ritual where I include like people that have been forgotten, people that died, were taken too soon, like children, babies, people that's died of natural causes, people that were never found. I will hold these special rituals for them. Sometimes I do it, like I said, all in one thing. I lump them all together, and sometimes I give them each a specific day. So those all, let's see. What's corn this year? Yeah, sure, but get you some of that corn husk. Yes. Corn silk is really good to use too. Like I use corn silk in my practice. But anyway, you can, I forgot what I was saying myself. Do y'all have that problem? I do all the time. I'll be in the middle of a sentence and completely forget what I was saying. What was I saying? I don't know. It'll come back to me. If it don't, it's all good. But yeah, so let's see. It's great to do like protection work during this time. All types of divination. So normally if you use, like if a pendulum is what you particularly like to use, maybe give cards a go, tarot cards, oracle cards. If you don't have cards, try something else. You can do water or smoke, or even cloud scrying. You can do all of those. Fire scrying. You can look at candle, the wick, how the wax drips, how the flame is moving on the wick. There are so many different ways that you can do divination. So, give it a try. Tea leaf readings, give it a try. Let's see, you can, like I said, fairy magic, banish it. This is a great time to do road openers as well. Obstacle removers. All of those are great. Transformation work. Release, things that no longer serve you. Let's see, growth. Those are all been, those are all good to do right now. Let me see if I've got anything else listed. See, candle, of course, candle magic, banishing, protection, release, transformation. Oh, another thing, past life work, past life recall is great. Dream work, like if you normally don't pay attention to your dreams, you might want to get that dream journal and start recording your dreams, because again, the veil is thinning. It's going to be at its thinnest point. So, this is the perfect time to start, doing some dream work. Maybe give lucid dreaming a try. Maybe you gave lucid dreaming a try before and it didn't quite work out. Well, give it a try now. You can work on your chakras, help to realign your chakras, cleanse them. If you need any type of healing to your aura, maybe you've had, maybe someone's told you that your aura is damaged, or maybe you've noticed there's holes in your aura. Well, do that kind of work, try to heal. Sometimes we need to heal from our ancestors too. We need to, sometimes we have to go within, and work on ourselves, but sometimes we take on what's been passed down through us energetically. And sometimes we have to heal that, so you don't pass it down to future generations, to come. So those are all good things, I think, to do. Uncrossing work is another great thing to do. If you're interested, or even scared of death, then I would suggest, trying to figure out why is it that you're, afraid of death. Maybe, try to uncover some of the mysteries of the other world, or, the underworld. These are not stuff that you have to do. These are just things that I like to do. You might not find them interesting, but I do. I find them very interesting. So yeah, that's about it. Like I was saying earlier, it doesn't really matter how you celebrate, as long as it resonates with you. I think that's what matters. It is what resonates with you, and what, you do what your intuition is guiding you to do. Let's see. Never thought about that. You have special rituals for groups of people. I do. I started this, I don't know, a couple years ago, because I just, I was thinking about all these wonderful things that I did for my ancestors and loved ones. And, I'm thinking, what about the people that are forgotten? What about they're not thought of anymore? What about these people that are just, these spirits that are just roaming, and I felt sorry. So I started, doing acknowledging and giving offerings for that. And then it turned into a ritual, and then, babies and children and people that are never found. And, that started. And then people that have died of natural causes, but we just don't, acknowledge these people. It started this whole thing. So yeah, that's just some of the things I do, the way that I am. Dried out pumpkin seeds are also good to add to some of your mojo bags when you want to be unnoticed. They won't make you invisible, just not paid attention to. That's an awesome point, Joyce. I have never used pumpkin seeds for that, to go unnoticed. I've used other plants, but not pumpkin seeds. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. Let's see. Sharebook. Oh my God, my tarot has been on so point. Has been so on point lately. That's awesome, Sharybug. I'm all about pendulums, but we'll use a spirit board now and then. I like pendulums too, Dawn. Now, when I first started, that I was obsessed with pendulums. I used pendulums like every single day. I love pendulum work. And now I have one friend that when she wants answers, she wants me to use a pendulum. Like I have to FaceTime her and set up on my altar, so she can see everything. Like I light candles, and get my crystals out and like my pendulum out. And she wants to watch, me do everything, but she fully believes in the pendulum 100%. She loves it. And then I have some friends that, only want me to use oracle cards, and then some that want tarot, some that want, both. But I don't use a pendulum as often as I did, but I still love pendulum. Let's see. Have no idea how past life work goes. I lucid dream naturally, but don't know how to make it happen. Sherrybug, you will get it though, girl. You know, like you said, you're just starting out, in this practice, and you will start learning anything it is that you're interested in. You will start doing, like, I think a lot like lucid dreaming. Whenever you lucid dream, I think that you have to really work on your meditation skills. I think you've got to be able to master, guided meditations, being able to follow whoever it is that's speaking. You might record yourself and then listen to it, later. But I feel like you have to really hone your meditation skills to be able to lucid dream and remember everything that's going on, to be awake in this lucid dream, but you'll get it. When I first started, I'm telling y'all, I could not shut my mind down for 5 minutes. It was the most frustrating thing. It was like, as soon as I went into meditation mode, oh my gosh, every thought that could come up, like, what are you cooking? Well, you didn't do this. Well, and then this happened because of this. And then I might say, like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. Well, you know what? I went to eat at this place the other day and they had this special salt. Well, I wonder what's happening in the ocean, and just on and on and on. It was out there, and I would get so frustrated. And now, like the other day, I was doing a meditation, and the only reason I know how long it was is because my son came in the room. My husband he had to go somewhere, and it was his day off, and he had to go to work for something and come for a little while. And when he came back home, my son was checking to see if he was back yet. And so I had been in meditation for 2.5 hours, and it felt like I had been in meditation for like 5 minutes, and 2.5 hours. And it wasn't a guided meditation. It was just me being with stillness, meditating on my own. I think I had some drums going. That was all. But I would never, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, if you would have told me that I would have been able to meditate for 2.5 hours, I would have thought you were crazy, because there was just, 5 minutes, I couldn't do it. But so you'll get there. Let's see. And I'm also going to do, never mind. We'll talk about all that later. We'll discuss it later. So Dawn said, I'm so not good at tarot cards. Now, Dawn, have you tried different decks? Because now this is me, again, y'all all know that this is just my thoughts, my feelings. So to me, I think you have to really connect with the deck. I've had decks before that I used and thought, oh my gosh, like, tarot's not for me. I'm never going to do tarot. And that was when I first started. And I thought, I wanted to do it, but I thought, am I going to be able to do this? And I used it, and I thought, this ain't me. Tarot day, I'm not a tarot reader, but I absolutely love tarot, and I love oracle cards too. But it was the deck that I was working with. I did not relate to that deck at all, and it wasn't a good fit. But again, to you, you just might not want to work with tarot, and that's completely fine either. Have you tried oracle cards? Let's see. Guided meditations are great. Yes, Dawn, they are. I do need to work on my meditations. And Sharebook, you can, if you set aside, start off, even if you just start off with 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and do that every single day, and then increase it by the week. And, you can, before you do a meditation, you can drink a herbal tea that is going to be good for you. Like for me, that would be like, if I need if I need my mind to be able to focus, I would drink Gotu Cola with ginkgo leaves and maybe some rosemary in with it. Or if I'm needing to quieten my mind, I would drink something else. But you might want to do that, or you might want to use crystals to enhance that, and keep at it every day, and try it where you're following a guided meditation. Then where you are practice visualizing items. So like this crystal, look at this crystal for a few seconds, close your eyes and visualize, like practice on it. Practice visualizing exactly what this looks like, being able to focus on this one particular thing, and practice, focusing on your breath. Breathe in, feel like the coolness of it as you breathe in, feel how far your breath goes. Try to follow it in your body. Try to follow your breath. Go in and out. And of course, there are going to be times where your mind's going to wander, and that's okay. Just bring it back each time to your breath. Think about extending that breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I promise you, you'll get it. It takes time and it does require practice. But that's like with anything, but you'll get it, girl. I got faith in you. Let's see. Did you use meditation to get through being in a washing a few? See, Sherry Bug. See, you can do it. You can do it. Let's see, Don said 5 decks so far. It isn't the decks, though. It's in my memory. I can't remember the card meanings. Well, that's okay. Don't worry about the card meanings. If those meanings don't really resonate with you either, don't worry about them and use your intuition. Like, say, for instance, okay, I've got some cards right here. Let's see. I wanted to. Okay, so this card is thunder. So the cards might tell me like thunder is a warning for what's to come. There's always thunder before, the lightning strikes or this or that. But to me, I might not see that. My intuition might not be telling me that that's what this is at all. It might be telling me that, something completely different. So listen to that. Listen to what your intuition guides you, how to use these cards. Let spirit come through you. You just be the channel for spirit, to be able to give you the message that you need to hear, or if you're doing it for others, that others need to hear. And again, it takes time with cards too. Especially if you don't want to, memorize the meaning of the books, which, some people like to use the meaning of the books. Others don't. I personally don't. I like to be that channel for spirit to convey those messages to me. Like, I have one particular deck that one of my guides, this is one way how he communicates to me. It's how he helps me give messages to people, like divine messages from spirit. He always comes through these cards, so we have an established relationship. So a lot of times what he makes me feel and like the message that I convey is not what the book says. And that's perfectly fine, because every time, if I'm doing it for someone else, every time that I convey that message that he gives me to give them, they're always like, oh my God, you're spot on. But here, if I would have, looked at the book, it could have been a completely different meaning, and it might not have made sense. But I think the meanings in the book are just, interpretations. So, maybe that's one of your problems is, maybe you are supposed to be tapping into your intuition and giving those messages, like you being that vessel and giving those messages from the divine or your goddess or your guides or your other spirits, whoever it is that you're working with, whoever this message, whoever, even if it's the messages coming from you, your higher self, and that's given that message, then, maybe it's they're wanting you, or you're wanting you to tap into that and not, rely so much on the book. Maybe it is, maybe, that's why you're not getting much from it. Maybe they want you to trust in your intuition more, if that makes sense. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. My favorite tarot deck is the Robin Wood Tarot, and go with intuitive readings rather than a book to find reading. Yeah, Joyce, I'm with you on there. Now, I've never used, I don't know the Robin Wood Tarot, but I want to look at that now. But I do intuitive readings as well. Now I've been working with oracle cards since I've been practicing. Um, Here and there. I mean, I didn't work with them all the time, and I mean, they weren't like herbs or crystals, in my practice, but I did work with them, off and on. But for the past couple of years, I've been working with oracle cards a lot more, but I've not been working that long with tarot. But I am getting more and more into it. I absolutely love doing readings. And I do readings all the time. Like I do for myself, I do pulls, daily, and I do for family and friends. And, I have people that will call and ask, for readings that are family and friends. And I do those. I just, I don't feel like 100% confident doing them online for people. But I do want to start incorporating those into the channel because it's going to help me practice too. I still need practice, as well. So this will help me to, be able to hone those skills and grow. Let's see. The best things with the cards is that they give you sort of a jumping off place for you to get the meaning from spirit. Yeah, I agree. And there are some decks that I really resonated with the meanings. Like I really, I could feel those meanings. Like Joy said, it was that jumping off place. And they really did resonate with me. And then I've had other that, I'm like, I'm not feeling this at all. Like I feel something completely different, So it is, it's up to you, how you use it. But I do like to do intuitively. Let's see. Dawn says I have an oracle deck. Do you like the oracle deck, Dawn? You're gonna be trying that intuitive reading thing, girl. Give it a try. Let's see. I have an oracle deck. Sharebug. I think words are on the oracle deck. Yeah. Let's see. I think is it my spirit? Yeah, my spirit. What are these? My spirit animal oracle. They have words on them. Let me see if my others have words. Yeah, those do. My plant deck has words. And then my shaman deck does not have words. It has numbers, on it, and it also you can use them reversed. Like a lot of tarot cards, you can it will like go over the meaning of reversed as well. But a lot of oracle cards don't do anything with reversed. But my shaman cards, they have a reversed as well. Sharebug, I think words on the oracle deck. Don't. I haven't used it yet. Oh, right on, girl. Right on. Yeah, I love, one of the things I like to do too is to combine my cards. So I might use one of my plant decks for, like if I'm calling upon a plant spirit that I need guidance from this plant, and who has a message that I need to hear right now. What's going to serve me? What plant, is willing to step up and help me to teach me something? I'll pull a card, and then like what animal spirit that I need to work with at that time, something that maybe I'm going through or something that I need to deal with, I will pull a card. And then from my spirit guide, I'll pull one. I might pull one from like a zodiac sign. So my astrology cards, or I might add my fairy cards, with it, and add them all together to do this big reading and to get a really detailed, message. And it's really cool to see how they all come together, even though they're completely, different decks. They come together. And I like to incorporate tarot with oracle too. Cherry bug. Yeah, I think I have one or two tarot decks that have some words on them. All right, Dawn, shoot. If I can help you, I'll help you. If I don't know, we'll look it up. Because there is so much that I don't know. Like, I think I will be learning for the rest of my life. I wish my hair was as dark as it looks on camera. Because my hair sure as hell ain't this dark. But I wish it was. Yes, right now you're using for, yeah, I think that's cool, Sharebug. I love doing that. And I also like to incorporate crystals with them too. I think it's cool. I want some elderberry wine. I should have put, I got some elderberry tincture. I should have put some in my tea. So does the same card have different meanings to different people intuitively? I feel like they do, depending on what message Spirit's trying to convey right now. Now with tarot, I feel like there's always going to be some underline, or tarot and oracle both. Okay, so let's say, for example, we both have this plant deck. We've got the same exact deck, and we're using it pretty much, the same way, or we could be using it completely different ways, but we're asking, just say that we've asked something, we both pulled the same exact card. Okay, let's say that we pulled a root card. So the part of the plant that is going to help us, what we're trying to learn from, is the root. So roots have to deal with, like, if you're talking about plants in general, the roots are going to deal with the north. They deal with winter. They deal with going inward, going in with yourself. So that's going to be the same as far as, it's the message behind this plant to you and I both are going to be, we need to go inward. We need to look inward. But the message that comes from Spirit as to what the problem may be or what's going on, as to why you need to go inward to get to the root cause of the problem, could be totally different things. Mine could be, maybe I, let's say I jumped the gun. I act before I think. Whereas you could be, you think, your thinking then gets in the way of you acting. So this plant is telling both you and I, we need to go inward and see why. What's causing me to just, just go balls to the wall, just, plow straight ahead, not stop and think it through. And what causes you to overthink, to overanalyze, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, you guys? Or like if, with, let's see, that's why we call it practicing with our Holy Spirit. That's right, Joyce. I feel like I will always be a student. I am a master of nothing. I'm not a master of anything. I will always be a student. I will always be learning. But that's one of the reasons why I love YouTube. One of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel is so we can discuss this kind of stuff, so we can become this witchy family, that we have this sacred space that we can hold together, where we feel safe, where we can express ourselves, where we can grow with one another, where we can learn from each other and feel comfortable doing it, where we can bounce ideas off of each other and make these lifelong witchy friends. Maybe I have a problem, maybe something's going on in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never done this kind of working, but I know I need to do something. So I might be like, Joyce, what's up, girl? Have you done this? I'm not really sure. Like, what would you do in this situation? Let's just bounce ideas off each other, so I can figure out exactly what it is that I want to do. Maybe, it's my wheels just won't get rolling. And maybe I need to ask you guys, what your opinion is, so I can get, my wheels going. Let's see. I get it. Okay. Good, Dawn. I'm glad that you get it. Ooh, Sharebug. Yes, girl. Make you some. Look, with elderberries, you can make elderberry gummies, like gummy bears. You can make them elderberry gummies. So if you have kids or grandkids or whatever, or even yourself, I love elderberry gummies to take when you're getting sick or just this time of year. You can make cough syrup. You can make jelly. You can make an elderberry tincture to take. You can make an elderberry syrup. You can make elderberry and ginger, like lozenges. There are so many things you can make. Elderberry wine. Good stuff. Let's see. Joy says that she learns something new all the time, even though I've been practicing now for nearly 40 years. That's amazing, Joyce. I cannot wait until I've been practicing for nearly 40 years. Like, I cannot wait to look back, after I've been practicing and to see what all I've learned and to see how I've grown, because I've not been practicing that long. It's right at 5 years that I've been practicing. So that's it. I'm still a baby when it comes to, a lot of you guys on, YouTube. I'm still a baby, but I will tell you this. I will never ever proclaim to know it all. You will never hear me say that, because I will always be a student. I'm always learning. But I will guarantee that if there is something that I don't know or something that you don't know and, we're interested in it, we'll find out together. We will find the answer. If there's any way that I can help you guys, I am here. Like, I am one of those people that I will go above and beyond for my people, above and beyond to help somebody. Now, once you shit on me, then you don't want me as an enemy, like, I'm done. But, I will go above and beyond to do everything that I can, to help whoever it is that needs help. As long as, they're my people, they're part of my community, then I will go above and beyond, like I said. So anyway, yeah, I was earlier, before I got on here, I was working with my cards. Let's see. The cards that I pulled some cards for the plants, and I'll show y'all what came up. So black cohosh, I don't know. That's the black cohosh, which represents darkness, black cohosh represents yin energy, so the feminine side. And this is not necessarily, has to do anything with gender. It's just the feminine, aspect of ourself. So she's real good or she comes up to help us heal damage to this feminine, side of ourself. And a lot of times she shows up to let us know, like, we have to heal those wounds. Like, it's time to bring them out of the darkness, bring them out of the shadows, the things that we've hidden. that maybe, and maybe it's only because it's hidden because we're hurting from it. You know, it hurt us some way. So we bury them, we stick them in the cracks and crevices, you know, we stick them in the shadows so no light can reach them. Well, when she comes up, she's like, oh no, honey child, it's time to dig deep. Go in and let's pull them on out so you can heal, you know, from this, so you can move into the light, so you can face, you know, face these problems, face these challenges, face what you went through. And you know, whenever I pulled it, it was, I felt like it has to do with some kind of like some kind of wounds that were either passed down from ancestors. Like there's some kind of repetitive pattern that's passed down from ancestors that you and some of the female family members have dealt with, and even some of the male, but it's that feminine side. I feel like though that there's also some problems with some females, whether this is, you know, your mother, your sister, your aunt, you know, your friend, your cousin, a best friend. I feel like there's some problems that need to be addressed, some things that are going on, and not necessarily for me. Like this was just a general, you know, reading as to like, you know, what can we learn, that type of thing. I like to do a reading before I get on here. But yeah, I thought it was really cool because, you know, like I said, Black Cohosh comes up, which represents darkness. Then look at this. White Raven Spirit. So you've got darkness and then you've got light. And that's what this White Raven is all about. You know, the light. And that is such a beautiful raven to me. But yeah, so White Raven is all about trusting in your magic and paying attention and recognizing patterns. And I think that's what comes with the darkness. I think this is, you know, the White Raven wants you to trust in your magic and to look out for those patterns so you can see. And the darkness is it deals with those patterns of being hurt, wounds from the female or the feminine relationships, you know, in our life. That type of thing. But I'm not gonna here, and let me show y'all this one. I'm not gonna keep going on and on and on. I just wanted to show you guys how like this relates. So this is, I don't know if you can see it. This is the staff. I wish you could see it better. Can you see its head? I don't know if you can. I was trying to angle my phone light too, but that's not working. You can, on here, this is a different deck than this other one. So the background, they're all different colors, but the images, some of it, like see how it's darker down at the bottom, but then it's light up at the top. But this is a staff, and on the top of this staff it looks like a deer skull, and then it's got some artwork on it. And I wanted you to see that, the artwork, because I think this relates, and even there's feathers at the bottom, but the colors, and I think both of those relate to both of these. Hold on. Both of these cards, the light, and, you know, the dark. And this staff, what I think is so cool about these cards, this staff is what will unite anything that's divided. So, you know, we're always, or I won't say always, but a lot of times we fight with trying to find that balance between the light and the dark. And then some people don't embrace the darkness within them at all. And, you know, you have to embrace both. you know, you have to embrace the darkness and the light. And this staff comes to us and it's like, look, you know, use me and I will unite what's divided. I will unite the darkness with the light. You know, you're not going to be able to come into this lightness until you heal the darkness. What's hidden in the darkness needs to come into the light. You know, you need to bring it up. It needs to come into the light so that you can heal these dark wounds, you know. And I think it's embracing that. And if this relates to you, even though like I didn't go through it, you know, and give it like a reading, I just kind of touched on this, which I had no intentions of doing earlier. But if this did relate to you and you do have some healing that you need to do in your life, maybe some ancestral healing, you know, that you need to look at, or maybe you feel like you do have some wounds there, but you're not really sure how to heal from it or to make heads or tails out of it, maybe look where your moon lies in your astrological charts and see. And that might give you some guidance as to how, you know, maybe it is a female in your life, you know, that has hurt you in some way that you need to release that pain and heal from, you know. And you can do it, you know. And like I said, call upon Black Cohosh, you know, to help you out. And sometimes we have, when it starts getting into this darker month, sometimes we have depression issues that come up. We start to get these, you know, wintertime blues start to affect us. And I think that it's because we need to, you know, there's some things that we need to work on within ourselves. Like there's things that are hidden in the shadows that need to be brought up. But yeah, I think Black Cohosh can help. And I also think White Raven Spirit, you know, can help as well. Like you can always call on White Raven, because that's one of the things she told me today when I was doing my meditation. I was communicating with her spirit, was that, you know, she wanted me to say, you know, that she is, you know, she's here. She wants to guide you. You know, she wants to work with you. Anybody that needs her help, anybody that needs to be her to be that guiding light through this darkness of this healing, you know, time, this transformational period, she wants to help you. And she also, one of the things that she kept saying, you know, to me was that you may not feel like right now is the time that divine, the higher beings, or, you know, your gods, your ancestor, your goddess, deity, are there, but know that they are, and that you have came a long way. You've worked hard, and Great Spirit, you know, that's what she kept telling me, was Great Spirit is there. Great Spirit knows what's going on. Great Spirit is watching you. And like I got the feeling like a gift. You're gonna reap something. You know, you're going to gain something once you know, deal with this darkness that you need to heal, this feminine aspect, this yin energy, you know, that needs to be healed, so you can, you know, come out like a phoenix, you know. So I like to think like me, and this works great for, or correlates great with my shadow work, this internal work that I start doing now, you know, around this time, because I like to think of it like when I'm going through this part of my life, this phase of my practice, is I think of the phoenix. So right now I'm like a bitch that's burning, you know. I have not been reborn yet. I have not risen from the ashes. The bitch is on fire. Like I am burning up here. Like I'm burning right now. So, but I have to go through this, I've got to go through this. So I'm the Phoenix. I'm burning. I am healing. I am going to do some work, and then I'm going to be reborn from the ashes. And that's what I feel like, these cards relate to me. They talk about. That's the message that I got from them today. So, yeah, guys. So, do y'all have any questions or anything that y'all want to talk about or mention? I know some of you guys are doing some workings tonight, and I need to make some stuff. Or is there anything you want to talk about, discuss? Is there something I didn't go over or anything? Hello. Oh my gosh, y'all. I thought I was at the bottom of this freaking screen. Jack of all trades, a master of none. Yes, Sharebug. Oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd. Sharebug, I know. I wish all of y'all were sitting in here with me. I wish we were all sitting in this witchy room. Oh, that would be amazing. And we could chill. Look, we could go through all these herbs. We could hang out. We could make some intuition tea. That would be so fun. We're going to. You know what? We're going to. I'm going to manifest that shit. We are going to do this. You are no baby. Each one of us come with our own strength and knowledges. Oh, Joyce, you're so awesome. We are all equal. We are. That's right. We are all equal. We are. Like, y'all know that my specialty is herbs. And I would say herbs, crystals, essential oils. That's like my specialty, and I've got one foot in this world, one foot in the other. Y'all know I love hedge riding. That's my special. And we each have some specialty, we each have something that resonates with us. And to me, it sounds like you ladies are like me. Y'all's thing is crystals and herbs and essential oils, excuse me, and all that good stuff. We do all come with our own strength, don't we? Yes, Sherry Bug, we do. I really have let's see. Sherry Bug says, I really have a goal to all witches, spiritual ideas, into healing. I think I have always been a healer. I think all witches are healers, and one way or the other. There's so many different ways of healing. The class that I'm in, I've been doing some more classes, like some podcasts and stuff that I normally do it. Again, it's this time of year. I do all of this stuff. I was thinking about that earlier today, like my school wise, my witchcraft, everything. I dive deep. Like I do any topic that I'm wanting to learn more about. It's this time of year that I start, all of this. If there's new plants that I'm wanting to learn about, research, review case studies, it's this time of year that I start doing it. But one of the things that I'm fixing to go over is dream work, learning more into dreams. Now I love dream magic. I love lucid dreaming. I love just dream magic in general. And there's a class that I'm going to take that's going to go over that. And I love learning. I love learning, as long as it's this kind of stuff like witchcraft. But I think what I was getting the topic I was talking about earlier, though, is, we were talking about we all have our own specialties, and like how you were saying, you want to, or you think you've always been a healer. I think that, yeah, we are, because there's so many different branches of healing, and I think all witches tap into that. Whether you heal through dreams, whether you heal through um soul retrieval, or working with kundalini energy, or working with your chakras or auras or reiki, or you make healing incense, or you make magic oils or magic powders. um all of those magic, maybe your thing is tinctures or elixirs or salves or lotions, or crystals. I have no idea what your thing is, what your specific thing is, but I think we all are healers. I don't think it's just like Reiki practitioners, or or doctors are healers. No, I think we all are healers. All witches are healers. Yes. Mm-hmm. Each other, not Lord. Yes, I agree with you, Joyce. I think it's so important to work together and help each other out. Like, I was so terrified to start YouTube. I am not kidding you. I was so terrified to start. I mean, I probably said, I don't know, for 8-9 months I was going to start a YouTube channel, and I was just terrified. My main reason why I was so scared is because I was so much newer than everybody else. And I thought, what in the hell do I have to share? What do I have to offer? All these amazing witches, they know so much. They've been doing this for so long. Like, they have so many subscribers. Like, I'm not going to get any subscribers. Nobody's going to want to listen to anything I have to say. And, finally, I just had to take that step, and I'm so glad that I did, because it doesn't matter that all these other witches have, more experience than me. I wanted to share what I learned as I learn, and what I've already learned, so I can help others coming into this. Or maybe I learned, different. Maybe I have a different streak, and I wanted to share that. Like, I wanted a witchy family. And so I am so grateful that, I did something about it. And I'm so grateful for y'all. Pulling together is what makes us all stronger. Yep, that's right, Joyce. I think I'm way behind on these comments. 2 of Pentacles was in my reading for myself today. Balance, share bug. Thank you, Dawn. Sherbug said, I can't believe you said, look at your moon sign to heal. Mine is Libra, and she drew a card about balance today. Okay, universe, I get it. So your cards are not just your card. Universe is like, Sherry Bug, get it, girl. So Dawn says, she has been solitary for years, but I'm loving having this online community. It makes me want to work with other witches. Yeah, the whole time I've practiced, I've been solitary as well, but I do love this witchy community, this witchy family. I feel comfortable with you guys. I like to, like I said, I would, if I have a question or something, I need help, I have no problem, coming to you guys. And I love that. I do. I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Wyld. I love sitting and listening and talking with you all. Oh, same to you, Joyce, and all you guys. She says, come on to Oklahoma and we'll do the tea and stuff. Hey, you know what? I want to go to Oklahoma. I think I fit in with you guys in Oklahoma. I sound like y'all, don't I? And don't love this live. Thank you, Wyld. Yes, I'm so glad that y'all jumped on here with me. And she's been a healer for a long time. That's amazing. Share books of very earthy practices thus far for me, and I think this is because I grew up and live on a farm. Yeah, that's cool, Sharebug. y'all know I've always been just a hippie. Like I was a wild child. I was hippie. I was wild. I was just, yeah, I was always very earthy, very, very earthy. But what's around me? Oh, that's right, Joyce. We do. We do. Well, ladies, I hate to get off of here, but it's 9:30 my time, and I've got to start getting my ingredients together. But I'm going to try my best to do this every 2 weeks. And again, if y'all are interested in jumping on here with me, or maybe all of y'all want to get on together, I think I can have 6 people at the time. Then, send me a message and let me know. If you have a specific topic that you want to discuss, we can do that. Or if you would like to do this fun little interview where we just get to know each other better and I can ask you some fun little questions, then we can do that as well. Don't feel obligated to do this, though. You are not required, and I do not want to make you feel, like, oh, to be a part of this, Witchy family, I need to go online. Do not feel like that at all. I just want to give you the opportunity to do that, but it is not a requirement. It is very optional. So I'm going to jump off of here so I can get started on my stuff. If I don't talk to you guys before Samhain, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful celebration. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your full moon. And until next time, I hope that you fly high, witches. Thank you, y'all my road dogs, for hanging out with me tonight. Y'all are always on my chats, so I'm going to end up having to do something special for you ladies because y'all got me. I got y'all. Anyway, y'all have an amazing night. I love each and every one of you. Until next time, fly high, witches. Peace, homies. Come on, Gentry. Gosh.